Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's episode 18 in the Rye podcast with Curt Fletcher. My guest today is going to be Zach Amon from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a comedian and a podcaster, and I just ran into him a couple weeks ago, chatted with him a little bit, so I'm excited to have him on, talk to him a little bit more, and let's go talk to Zach. Thanks for tuning in. How long have you been doing stand-up, Zach?
7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I started
So you
when I
started
was
in about 2013?
2013. I did my first stand-up set in college for a talent show.
Okay. And you went to college, was it Claremore?
Yeah, at RSU, Rogers State.
Cool.
And I won that contest.
Very cool.
Won a television, which was kind of neat. Because
Nice.
I just talked shit on the food service place at our college. Like that's all my set was, just like trashing those guys.
Oh yeah.
And then
Good thing they weren't the judges.
Yeah. Thankfully, none of them were there. They were like smoking crack somewhere, probably trying to figure out how to cook chicken. Like you can cook a rock, but you can't cook chicken. Unbelievable. But yeah, so then there was a little comedy club called the Comedy Parlor.
Okay.
Right down. It was literally underneath El Guapo.
Yeah.
That Mexican restaurant.
Yep.
Right at, like, people, you could hear people scraping chairs across the ceiling, like right underneath it, and very small, intimate, like probably 80 people at most could fit in there. And so that's where I did my first set, and then the rest is a sad history.
I remember the Comedy Parlor, I think, closed right before I moved to Tulsa.
Probably. It was right around that time. I was sad when
I never got to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sad when it closed. It was a cool little spot. I always had this idea that I was like, if I were to do like a comedy special, I would want to do it in this room because it was like the perfect little room for it.
I think my friend JD might have recorded one there.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I think a couple people did.
Yeah. We used to have a cool little room like that in Albuquerque back in the day. It sat maybe 75 at the most, but it was like this perfect little square, and it was attached to this bar. And so we used it. Stephen Michael Quesada actually built a little comedy club in there, and it was amazing. Nice. It was so cool. Yeah, that's just like such a perfect little room for comedy.
Yeah, that's kind of how the parlor was. Like you go in, and it's like the ticket area and the bar, which I mean, it was, the bar was as big as the screen. Like it wasn't very big. And then you would just go through this little curtain, and it would be like the room, and it was like the seat. So like the stage was on this side of the wall when you walked in, and then it was like the seating was kind of like around it, and then there was like a little room for a bathroom, and then the green room for the comics. And it was a nice little spot. I did a lot of experimental shit there when I was an early comic.
Yeah. And you just got to do an MC spot at the Looney Bin recently. Tell me about that. How'd that go?
It went pretty well. I got to host for Slade Ham and Sam Damaris, who are both. Yep. They're both. Well, Slade's out of Houston. Sam's from LA, but I think he moved.
He's from Houston.
He's from Houston.
Yeah, I know both those dudes pretty well. They're good dudes.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I enjoyed getting to hang out and talk with them. Slade was really cool to talk. One of my favorite things about comedy is talking with other comics.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can nerd out a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I missed over the few months where I wasn't on tour, man. It's like that's why I started the podcast, so I could talk to comics and stuff,
Yeah, it's like the I just it's a lot of people here don't like to riff, and I love riffing, and so getting to hang out with like Slade and them, or like talking to you, I'm like, oh, someone I can bounce shit off of.
Slade I worked with, God, it was probably 2005 and 2006. I worked with him in Colorado Springs twice.
Yeah.
And it was just fun, man, because like you become instant friends with him when you work for him for a week, and then plus I was staying in the condo with him, so we got to know each other pretty well, and we started busting each other's balls by the end of the week and stuff, and that's always fun.
What was also cool was like I didn't realize like how many of these guys actually know each other. Like they were looking they were looking at the wall of like all the comics, like Tim Gaither was up there that you were with, and they were like, "Oh, Tim," and then they just started like talking shit on him a little bit. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they did it with everybody. It was interesting. I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess it would make sense that everybody would kind of know each other."
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because I've been doing this for 19 years, and there are some guys I haven't seen since I started, but I mean, we still chat and stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy named Brian Bradley. He was the headliner the third time I ever did comedy in 2001. I haven't seen him since, but we still chat all the time on Facebook and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's pretty weird.
Yeah, comedy. It's just kind of funny, like even when I've gone like out of state to different places, like how comics all just kind of seem to gravitate towards each other. Like we're all like, okay, we all kind of know what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hang out here. Like I don't like to hang out with like people,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. The normies out there.
Yeah, that makes total sense, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because I've got friends like in pretty much every big city in the country just from doing stand-up, So if I'm passing through somewhere, like I was actually passing through Colorado Springs one time and I noticed that Slade was there at the comedy club. So I called him and just stopped by and said, hey, I was on my way to Wyoming or something like that. So
yeah. Yeah, I liked Slade. They were both really cool guys, really funny. Yeah. They can drink. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I never drank with Sam, but Slade, yeah.
They go they go about the same. Like they were telling me stories and I was like, Jesus, I do 3 shots and I'm like blacked out, belligerent, can't even talk.
I can't even do shots anymore, man. I just
well, I have to
can't hang with those dudes.
So like I do Getting Greasy, the podcast with Dustin and Sean, and we drink on that show.
Okay.
Like, because Trailer Park, it's about Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
Trailer Park Boys, they drink and they, and they smoke, and like we do that as well. Like it's but Sean and Dustin, I think, are the only 2 guys I know that could probably give Slade and Sam a run for their money. Like it was like I've never seen 2 men just put back the alcohol, and like they give me shit all the time, and I'm like, yeah, fine, give me shit. Like I can barely do like a beer and not be like belligerent, So, but I'm getting better. I've been tying them few. This is like the first night I haven't drank in a while, so I'm like trying to dial it back just to keep me on a good path. Because I tied one on Sunday, and then yesterday we recorded.
Yeah.
And so when you manage to take a 22-minute episode and turn it into 2 hours, you can drink a little bit.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen an episode of the Trailer Park Boys.
It's good.
Yeah. I've heard great things about it. I just never watched it.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get into, I think.
Yeah.
But once you kind of realize what's happening, it's phenomenal.
Okay. Is it based out of Canada?
Yeah, it's a Canadian show. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. And it's like a mockumentary style. Like it's.
Okay.
But they do like a really good job of like. Because like how most shows, like when they do a mockumentary style, they really don't kind of acknowledge the camera people are there at all, or until later. Whereas like in this show, like the camera guys get shot sometimes during the hijinks, so it's like it's a good show. It's worth the watch. It's funny. Cool. It's very, I wouldn't say slapsticky is the word, but like, it's a good show. I recommend it.
Cool. How many seasons do they have?
So on Netflix, there's technically 12. There's 12 seasons, and then they have 2 animated seasons.
Okay.
And then they have like 3 movies, 2 specials, and then like these 2 mini seasons where like they go to Europe and they go to the USA.
Oh, cool.
And then they have 2 movies on their company called SwearNet. These guys put out content like nothing I've ever seen before. Like it's like they have their own website called SwearNet, and they just put shit out constantly. It's insane. Really? I don't know how they sleep.
Yeah.
I get tired just being like, oh, it's Monday, I gotta record. Boo.
How have you been doing the podcast?
I think we're just a little over a year now. I think we hit a year in September. I think September was our year, because Sean and I Sean and I started hosting the VFW open mic together.
Mhm.
And around that time, one of the guys from the show, his name's Randy, he does like tours. He does like these cheeseburger picnics.
Mhm.
And Sean went, and he happened to run into Dustin, while he was there. And they were like, "Oh, you're a Trailer Park Boys fan?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then Sean was like, "You know who else is Zach?" And then that's just kind of started the whole trifecta. And then, yeah, it's been a year and it's been fun.
Cool, man. Well, so do you just break down? Do you watch an episode and then kind of break it down? Is that how you do it?
Yeah,
Cool.
essentially. We try to stay on track as much as possible, but we go off
Oh
because,
yeah.
like I said, we're drinking the whole show. So
Yeah.
after about an hour, everybody starts trailing off. But it's fun. But yeah,
Cool.
we go episode by episode, break it down, and like talk about like the little like nuances and like
For sure.
it's kind of funny, like when you analyze a show that you don't really think about analyzing, all the things you can find in it are very interesting.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, oh, I've never like there's a 420 in every episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
so like
funny.
you spend the time trying to find those and
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's just cool. It's interesting. I just didn't think it would be so like it's not like super in depth, but like the fact that we could pull some shit out to talk about anyway
Mhm.
is just kind of cool.
That is cool. So do you watch the episode more than once when you record before you record?
I don't. We
Yeah.
usually will watch it together
Oh, okay.
and then like the other two will take notes. I've always had a hard time taking notes on videos or
Mhm.
watching things. Like I can't do that because I end up writing everything.
Yeah.
So I just kind of go off. I mean, they like Devo runs the show enough that I can like be like, oh yeah, and remember everything as it goes. But yeah, I like to watch it right then and there, so it's fresh. Like we've had to do a couple episodes where like we got to watch it the day before or something, and those episodes I definitely rely on them to carry because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
Mhm. How funny. Is that the only podcast you're doing right now, or are you still doing your podcast?
No, I stopped doing mine just because
Okay.
I kind of hit a wall with it, and I was just I don't know exactly how to explain how I felt, so I was just kind of like I don't really want to do it, and
Yeah.
then so I started this one with uh Devo and Sean, and I think it's more I think I do better when I'm like with someone,
I've always thought that
and I
about
thought
myself too. I was
yeah
always kind of skeptical about starting a solo podcast and interviewing people.
yeah
Like,
like you see like those big guys like Bill Burr and like all them that can do just a podcast of them talking, and I'm like
yeah.
that just seems hard. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
especially once a week.
Yeah. Like I'm like I don't think I'm interesting enough to maintain that amount of time for someone.
Oh, I don't know if that's true, Zach. You're pretty
Well,
cool.
thanks, man. I do plan on video game streaming here soon. I did a
Oh,
test
cool.
stream the other day. Just something to do because I game all the time. So I'm like, why
Okay.
not?
What type of games do you
I'm
play?
I'm a little bit of I like a little bit of everything. Right now I'm a big Overwatch fan. Love
Okay.
Overwatch. It's a great
I don't
game.
know that one.
It's like a team shooter. It's like
Okay.
and there's like heroes and it's like the same guys that did like World of Warcraft and all that
Oh,
Blizzard.
cool.
And, but it's good. It's fun. It's like a team. But they just had like their third like actual season of Overwatch League like
hmm
on ESPN and stuff. Like pretty wild how like fast it blew up. And then right now, the big game is Phasmophobia, which is
I never heard
it's
of that
a
one either.
so it's a 4-player like co-op game,
Okay.
and it's ghost hunting. You go ghost
Oh,
hunting at
cool.
like these different locations, and you
That
have
sounds
all
like something
the.
I would like.
It's it's pretty fun. Like I don't play scary games. Like I'm a big pussy. Like I don't. I don't like scary games. Like I like to watch people play scary games. I can't
Yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah.
But that's one that I'm like, because I think with the team aspect, like that we're all kind of in this together trying to, because the whole point is like you have like these optional objectives, but the main goal is to just figure out what kind of ghost you're dealing with. And there's like
hmm
different types of evidence. And But I think that's really ultimately what makes it like less scary is that it's like a team aspect. You kind of
Mhm.
have to. It's like, okay, as long as I can outrun him, I'm
Oh
okay.
yeah, yeah,
And but yeah, it's really fun, and they do. It's a great atmosphere game
yeah.
because you basically you talk in game,
Mhm.
and if you're in separate rooms, it sounds like you're actually in separate rooms,
Oh,
and like you
cool.
can only hear each other up close, or there's you have a walkie talkie, and yeah, the shit can get pretty scary though.
That's
It's
cool,
fun.
man.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you
that sounds fun.
definitely check it. I think it's only like $14 on Steam. So if you're looking,
Really?
it's easy to play, like not hard. So I'm down to play with you if you want to get it.
Okay, cool. I'll look into that.
Yeah.
I don't. What is Steam like a?
Steam's like a video game store if you have like a
Okay, I think
PC.
my nephew probably he mentioned Steam the other day. I don't know what he's talking about,
Yeah.
but
It's just like a little video game store you can buy on
okay.
like
I
PC.
play PS4. I play like Madden and stuff and
Mhm.
Grand Theft Auto, things like that.
Hey, those are good. I love
Yeah,
Grand
those are
Theft
great, man.
Auto.
Yeah, yeah. Grand Theft Auto is fun.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is
Yeah, that's the one I got.
I loved that game.
Yeah,
Trevor's one of the best characters ever written for a video
yeah.
game, in my opinion. Like hands down, you
Oh
can't write
yeah,
a character better than Trevor.
yeah, yeah. I haven't played that in a while. I need to play it again. It's fun. Uh, how long you been playing guitar? I know there's a couple guitars back there.
Oh yeah, got a few.
When did you start playing?
I was in I was in middle school. I know that. It was either 6th or 7th grade.
Did you win the talent show? You're talking shit about the lunch ladies in the
No,
song.
no. No, I never won any talent show with my guitar, unfortunately. Uh but yeah, I like it. I dabble. I got this little green one here. Like there is
Yeah,
this Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang guitar,
cool,
may
man.
he rest in peace. I got it the
Yeah,
week before, like a week before he died.
really.
So I'm like,
Yeah,
no, but yeah, yeah, it's a fun little it's kind of like I guess like my release thing. I had a little like I've always wanted to kind of be in a band. My brother's in a band.
oh really?
Yeah, my brother's a bass player in a band, and I had like some friends and we did a little band and had a little concert like a couple years ago. I think I was like a freshman in college, well that summer, but I've always kind of I've always wanted to be in a band because
Uh-huh.
like I'm a decent enough guitar player to where it's like I could pull off being in a band.
Yeah, I remember you playing at Talk Show Incorporated. You're pretty solid.
Yeah, and it's I don't like to brag, but it's like I know I'm decent.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
But I don't know. I've always kind of liked the idea of being in a band, but it's also just a matter of me getting out there and looking for one.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's
yeah. It's a lot
yeah.
of work too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
getting
for sure.
together, 3 or 4 people, getting your schedules together and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
It's one of my best friends. He's in a band. He's a bass player in a band, and they record. I think on or like they'll get together and practice on like Sundays. So
Mhm.
he'll be like, "Don't contact me on Sunday," and I'll be
Yeah,
like, "Okay, cool. Don't worry
that's
about it."
funny.
So it it's fun. I enjoy it though. It's
Yeah,
nice to relax.
yeah. Actually, I just bought a bass in July,
Nice.
and yeah, I've been teaching myself how to play, and I
The
love it,
bass
man.
yeah,
I
bass is fun. Sometimes some days bass lines are harder than guitar riffs.
yeah, yeah. I started out with a lot of easy songs, and I learned a lot of easy songs, and then now I've been trying to challenge myself playing some like Anthrax and shit.
Oh yeah. When you get up to that Metallica, God, imagine how fast your fingers would be.
Oh, I know, man. Yeah, some of the Anthrax songs are just too damn fast. Like I can get some of it
Yeah,
down, and then like these fast parts where I'm like, how the fuck does he do that?
yeah, your fingers will be buffed by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to master Hot for Teacher right now
Oh,
lately.
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
uh, broken down, I can kind of do it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's still just guy was a legend. How do you play after a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
legend?
yeah. I hear you there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna try and look up like some Primus stuff. I wonder if I could play some Primus on my bass. I haven't even tried yet.
that's my friend Joe, who's in that band. He that was his like his inspiration for bass was Les Claypool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he can slap like Claypool. He can play a majority of like Claypool's music. It's pretty insane.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can play the South Park theme song, and that's it.
Hey, I can't even play that one.
I bet you can. It's super easy.
Maybe I'll try it one day. We'll get together and that'll be our show, the South Park theme song.
Let's go on tour playing theme songs.
Yeah. Hey, that is not a bad. That would actually, I think, do well.
It might, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you put like your own little spin on it. I think it would do very well.
There's a
like
band
shit like that.
There's a band called the Any Eskimos. Have you ever heard of them?
They
just do Nintendo songs.
Oh, really?
So they do like the Mario song. They'll do the whole thing too, like from level 1 to like level 8. That's amazing. It's like 16 minutes or something like that.
Everybody's just tripping balls like this is amazing.
It sounds cool, man. Then they do like the Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. So
that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
There's that one metal band that all dress like Ned Flanders.
Oh yeah, Oakley Dokley.
Yeah. It's like they don't play like Simpsons music, but that's just a nice, funny shtick that they have.
It is, yeah. Yeah, they toured with Max Sabbath. You remember that? Have you seen that band?
Yeah, Max Sabbath.
They
Yeah.
do a bunch of Black Sabbath covers dressed as McDonald's characters.
Yeah, like demonic McDonald's characters. Yeah, it's so great. Like gimmicks work, man. Like
for
people shit on it, but like it works.
Oh, that's how GWAR started out, because GWAR started out making fun of bands that wore makeup and all this goofy shit because they hated that music. And then they were successful, so they just kept doing it.
Yeah, might as well if you're good at it.
Because GWAR stands for, I think it stands for God, What Awful Racket.
Remember my buddy, we went through this phase where we would send each other clips from the lead singer of GWAR from like interviews with him because he was just a nut job.
Oh yeah, he's great.
That was crazy, but hilarious.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him. He's saying that GWAR could last for hundreds of years. He just changed musicians,
Yeah. I remember the first time I think I ever was introduced to GWAR was Viva La Bam, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think he had him on an episode at some point, and I was like, what the fuck are these guys?
Oh, yeah. The first time I saw him was Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're obsessed with GWAR. Like, GWAR.
Awesome. I remember Beavis and Butthead scared me when I was a kid. I was
really?
There's something about Beavis's face that just was like unsettling to me as a child. I was like, I don't like his face.
Beavis is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Oh, he's a great character. Now that I'm older and I can appreciate it, yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, you were probably pretty young when they came out, huh?
Yeah, I'm a youngin'.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'll be 27 this month.
Jesus. Yeah. You were probably just a little baby when that came out then.
Yeah, young.
Because it came out in the early 90s.
Yeah, I was born in 93.
Oh, yeah. I guess it probably would have scared little baby Zach.
Yeah, little baby Zach was scared of a lot of things.
Sounds like you still are.
A little bit. There's still some things that terrify me, like election nights.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Was there a big line when you went to vote today?
It wasn't bad, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm pulling for Kanye. Let's just see what happens,
Yeah. I was hoping Joe Exotic would get out of prison by now.
Dude, if Trump wanted to win this election in a landslide, all he had to do was like have a rally somewhere and be like, I pardoned someone and he's going to come out and endorse me, and I think you're all going to love it. And then let Joe Exotic come out. Dude, everybody, even the left would have been like, all right, let him have it.
Yeah.
Let him have it. 4 more.
He could replace Mike Pence.
Yeah. Could you imagine a Trump Exotic ticket? That'd be insane.
Yeah, that'd be great. I did vote for Joe Exotic when I lived in Tulsa because when I moved there, is when the medicinal marijuana was on the ballot. So I registered to vote for that. And then, Joe Exotic was on there, and I was like, what a funny name. And I just voted for him because I didn't know who to vote for in Oklahoma.
Yeah. I mean, it really didn't matter.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to win because he was there. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I'm just ready for this all to be over. I'm optimistic, but my optimism is low.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
just excited for all the political ads to be over.
the political ads. I'm excited for fucking celebrities to quit telling me to vote and who to
Yeah.
vote for. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to make I
I
want to
didn't
make
even
my
vote
own
this year.
decisions, Kurt. Like, I want to make my own
I
decisions.
know,
Can a
yeah.
guy do that? Can a guy do that anymore? Can a man make his own decisions? What's happening to our
Not
country
anymore.
where
I know. It's
men
so
can't
crazy.
even make decisions?
Maybe one day, Zach.
One day.
You'll have rights.
We'll see.
When's your next show?
Right now, what is it? The 3rd? Oh, that's this weekend, I think. I think this weekend I am I'm doing a show at the Vanguard.
Okay.
Evan Hughes is putting it on.
Cool.
So the Vanguard Tulsa. And then I have another one on, I believe, the 22nd, November 22nd. It's the Young Comedians of Tulsa. Michael Patton's putting it on, so it's all of us youngins. I think the oldest people on there are Landry and I.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And Michael is like 100.
Yeah, Michael's like 1,000 years old. Yeah, so
He used to go to vaudeville shows in Tulsa.
Oh, really?
No.
But I see what
Maybe,
you're saying.
I don't know.
Maybe. I would believe it.
Yeah, I like Michael. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, super nice, super cool. He fascinates me because he's someone. Have you ever met someone? And I mean, you've met Michael, so maybe you get this, where it's like they're almost like not real.
Mhm.
It's like you aren't a person per se.
Yeah,
you are more. Like there's a couple people in Tulsa that I've met through comedy that I'm like, you're not real. Like you are a type of like demigod sent here to kind of keep an eye on everybody and push everyone in a certain direction. Like Rick Clement is another guy in Tulsa who I love. He's the guy that takes photos of all the shows pretty much when he comes out, takes great photos everywhere of Tulsa. But he's one of those guys as well that I'm like, where do you go? Like, where do you come from? How do you have all this time to do these? Like the guy is constantly doing something. And I'm like, it's because he's not a real person. He's like a god sent here to.
He doesn't need sleep because he's not human.
Like I saw him and Michael talking one time, and I'm like, they're probably plotting like what to do with COVID next.
Yeah, some kind of weird meeting going on. They could have done this
like,
at their lair.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But they're cool guys. I like them both.
Yeah. Michael actually came and saw me in St. Louis one time. He
was
about
he
a year ago.
St. Louis.
He's a big Cardinals fan. He was there for a playoff game. And me and Tim Gaither were out there performing at the Funny Bone, and Michael came out, I think, like on a Thursday night and came and saw the show and stuff. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
It's cool meeting Tim too. I've heard a lot about him. I've never had the chance to meet him.
Oh, really?
It's cool getting to meet him.
Yeah, Tim's great, man. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah, I liked a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, he's funny, man. He's really funny. He's got a lot of stuff that, a lot of racial stuff that people, if they're not paying attention, they're like, oh, he's racist.
Yeah, I mean,
and because I worked with him so many times where people get so pissed off, and it's like, listen to what he's saying, you fucking idiot.
Listen to the joke. You're getting hung up on a word.
Exactly.
I have a lot of jokes like that too, where it's like you're getting hung up on the word and you're not listening to the whole joke.
Yeah.
As a, and that's one of the tough parts about comedy. That's one of the hard.
Especially in the headliner spot too, because he's up there. Everyone's already pretty liquored up at that time.
Oh yeah.
So they're not really focused in on what you're saying. And,
they're kind of in and out, swaying, talking to themselves or to their guests. Talky people, man. They were a bit rowdy that week. You were at the bin.
Yeah, they were kind of chatty and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
that one table was. They didn't even know a show was happening.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They thought they were at Shogun.
Yeah. I used to hate, like, you used to work at the Looney Bin, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I worked
Yeah.
there for like a month and a half or 2.
Yeah. I did this thing where I was the door guy and had to
Yeah,
watch the crowd and stuff. Tell people to shut up all the time.
man,
That
the door
sucked, man.
guy. Oh yeah, that whole thing sucks. The door guy they have now though, he's a big motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
he's a big dude, so it's like
Yeah. I
I
used
would
to
shut up.
say, like, when I'd start the show, like, uh, I'd be like, hey guys, just shut up during the show. 'Cause, yeah, I'm not a tough dude and I don't want to come over to your table or anything. Try to beat
Yeah,
my ass, but
I
just
know
shut
that
up.
that was my thing. Like if I come and tap on someone on the shoulder, I'm like, hey, can you be quiet? And then they look at me, they'd be like, I'll fuck you up. And I'm like, you're right. Go ahead, keep
Yeah.
talking, do your thing, sir. I don't care. The women were the worst. They were
Oh, the
scariest.
worst. I think I probably told you this story before. There were 3 blonde women, and Evan Hughes was on stage, and they just wouldn't shut up. And I was like, I'm gonna say something to him. So I went over and I told him to be quiet. And then after a couple minutes, they're watching Evan's set. One of them comes over to me and she goes, "Hey, this guy's not very good." And I was like, "I know he's not very good, but he has cancer, and this is his Make-A-Wish." And so the club put him on this week because they don't know how long he has to live. She's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not like he goes around telling people. So she's like, I'm really sorry." She went back to the table and told her friends, and they were quiet the rest of the time.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then I forgot to tell Evan about it. So I don't know if I don't know if they said anything to him after the show or
They all
anything.
followed him on Facebook. Like, wait, what the fuck? He's not dying of
Yeah,
cancer.
they go back to the Looney Bin. He's still there.
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
hey guys, remember me from last time? They're like, what the fuck?
why don't you make any jokes about your cancer?
Yeah, why don't you talk about your cancer more? That would be funny. They come up to him after the show. Notice you didn't talk about your cancer. Smart, good move. Better man than me. I would do nothing but tell cancer jokes. They'd be like, oh
Yeah.
God, Zach's here. See how many 1,000 jokes he can do about cancer.
Did you have to toss anyone out in your month and a half they were there?
No, I don't think so. I did have to tell some people to be quiet, but I never had to like. Usually people will just kind of leave on their own.
Yeah.
They'll just kind of up and fuck off, and you're just like, okay, cool.
We had one guy. He came in and I don't remember if I was working the door or not, but I remember seeing him. I might have been working at the ticket booth actually. Because I remember him coming in by himself and he was just kind of out of it. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't drunk or anything. He just seemed like really sad or something.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe he was meeting someone there or something. So I was in there watching the show and he's sitting kind of in the back, kind of by where the sound booth is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there by himself and he just starts pulling shit out of his pockets and he's like putting it on the table and like it's just weird shit too.
Yeah.
And then so he has this piece of paper and he uncrumples it and he lays it out on the table and he's looking at it and he looks like he's like crying or something. And I was like, man, what is up with this dude, And then so like some people sitting around him are kind of watching him too. And so I went and told Roy about it. He was the GM at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, this you might want to watch this dude for a little bit. Like he's not making any noise or anything, but he like people are watching him,
He's like looking over a map. I think it's the blueprints of the bin.
So Roy just goes over there and he asks if he could talk to him in the lobby. Because he just wanted to see if he's okay. So the guy like gathers up his stuff, walks out in the lobby, and then he just walks out the door. He just left.
Like I don't want to explain any of this. That was
but it
a
was
guy.
So weird, man.
Yeah, that is weird. People do weird shit.
Yeah, and the thing that he pulled out, like I don't know if it was like a car title or what. Like I don't know. I have no idea what it was.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, but that was the weirdest thing that I had to deal with there, I think.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. I mean there was one guy who was like he was heckling and he was like claiming to Roy that he was making the show better.
Oh, as
He's
they
like,
all do.
he's like, oh yeah, I went and saw Chris Rock, and I was in the front row, and I was heckling him, and he was like thanking me for heckling him because I made the show better. It's like, no, I doubt
no.
it.
It's like the show is better because he probably destroyed you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and for everybody else, yes, that's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Like,
So
I'm just gonna start encouraging people, like when they heck, like if I'm like having a bad heckler, because like I can't deal with hecklers very well because I'm just not like, I'm not snappy enough.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna tell the crowd to beat him up. I'm just gonna be like, hey, beat this guy up.
Beat this guy up. I need to get on
I
my
have a
show.
microphone. I have a microphone. Beat this guy up if you want more comedy. just to see if it would happen. You know, I'm one of those people that like I do things sometimes just to see what will happen.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, is this old lady about to walk into traffic? We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out because that's what God intended, you know.
Yeah, and then see if the traffic is quick enough to stop, and then
or
we'll
if
just play it out.
Yeah, or if there's a pedestrian nicer than me to stop old Betty from crossing into the street. But it's gonna take a much better person than me.
Yeah. I always feared dealing with hecklers too when I was starting out. And there was a time I might have even been working with Slade Ham when this happened. It was in Colorado Springs, and I was only a couple years in, and so I was hosting. And this guy, after every single joke, made a comment. I had told like 4 jokes at the time, and I was like, "Fucking, this guy's gonna make a comment every time." And then, but they had a security guard there who was a big dude, so I was like, I could say whatever the fuck I want to this guy, you know, because he started walking over, and I knew the guy pretty well, so I told another joke, and sure enough, he made a comment. So I go, I was like, "Hey, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna punch your girlfriend in the face." And like he sat there and looked at me, and then the security guard kind of stopped to see like what his reaction was gonna be. And then like I paused for a little bit, and then I told my next joke. He didn't say shit the rest of the night.
He's like, holy shit, he might just be crazy enough to do it.
But I wouldn't have said that if the security guard wasn't there.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think like the girlfriend, like you could tell like she was like super embarrassed too. Like she's like, shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
Because he was like just trying to impress her and stuff and just being a dick.
Oh yeah. There's always those types of guys. Like I like the guys that and this is only something I've really ever seen at the bin. Like guys who are with girls or something, and like the minute the girl starts laughing really hard at a joke, the guy won't laugh at any more jokes.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, relax.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that is a funny thing,
yes.
man. It's funny to watch the crowd, like see what people are laughing at and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Especially when they're on dates, yeah.
It feels like we're almost like intimidating people in a way. And it's like, we're not intimidating people.
Yeah.
It's like if someone at a show wanted to fight me afterwards, I'd be like, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Let's not. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to hurt you is what I'm saying.
We had a show one time, same club, Colorado Springs. Seems like stuff always happens there.
Colorado's wild from what I hear.
I did a feature spot and nobody laughed at all.
Ooh.
And I was working with like my favorite comedian of all time too. And I was like, fuck, man, I bombed right in front of him.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting in the back like, fuck, I'm going to quit comedy. This sucks. And then he goes up and eats shit. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Like, this crowd sucks. And then so after the show, I go back to the condo and I'm thinking about killing myself and all that. And, I talked to the club owner the next day and I was like, what's up with that crowd last night, dude? They were terrible. He's like, oh, it was a big group of singles. Like it was a singles night.
Ooh.
He's like, I didn't want to tell you guys because you'd like pick on them and shit. And he's
what
like,
yeah, weird...
he's like, yeah, they're not great laughers. He's like, yeah, no shit, they're not great laughers. It's like, I almost hung myself in your condo, dude.
Dude, what a weird singles night place to go to.
Yeah, like, because if you're trying to like, impress somebody, like you're not gonna
let's go to a place where we can't talk.
Yeah. But then you also don't want to laugh at stuff that, like I don't know, like a good example, but like
you don't want to be like on a date with a girl and you laugh at the school shooter joke.
Yeah, exactly. Something like
Because
that.
then she's gonna be like,
and then she's like, okay, this guy's got a weird sense of humor.
And if she laughs with you, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've always I've always thought it's weird when people go on dates to like first dates kind of thing, or like even just a date in general to a comedy club. I'm like, I get it.
I think
but
it's
I'm
all
like,
right for like a couple that's been together for a while, you know?
Yeah, like if you've been together for a while, but like.
But yeah, first date or something like that when you're getting to know each other and stuff. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. It's either you're really bad at communicating or you're really smart by not wanting to communicate on a date.
Yeah.
By going and doing, the old movies trick.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, we hit 40 minutes.
40?
Wow. Yeah, it went by fast, huh?
Yeah, it did.
Do you have anything to plug? Like, where can people find you on social media and stuff?
I'm on pretty much everything. You can find me on Instagram at Real Zach Amon. You can find me on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm at Hey Big Chillin'. That's just what I like. Hey Big Chillin'. Facebook, Zach Amon. Check out Getting Greasy. It's a podcast. It's on all the podcast stuff or Soundstooth. That's the main network that we do it out of.
That's such a cool thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna actually. There's a new thing here in Albuquerque. They're starting up a podcast guild. They're renting out this building and they're gonna let people use their equipment to do podcasts and things like that. So
hell yeah,
I think it'd be cool if they could put together an app like Dustin's doing.
Man, I mean, a lot of it is, big ups to Landry. Like Landry's the one who really
started it, yeah.
Yeah, Landry. Dustin just kind of runs everything.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, we hit 175,000 subscribers or feeds or RSS feeds.
That's great,
or
man.
something
Yeah.
like this month or last month.
How cool!
Like it's wild. Like it's weird. You do something like this, and for me, I'm like, who is this for? Like, what am I doing? Like, am I doing like that's I think what happened with my first podcast was that I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what I'm doing. Who is this for? And like Getting Greasy feels like that sometimes. But then it's like we actually have people reach out to us, and like we had a fan send us a goodie box and like all this stuff. Like I had a phone conversation with a guy from Sweden who listens to our show, and it's just kind of like, oh, maybe we are likable.
That's cool, man. That's very cool.
But yeah, so check out Getting Greasy. I have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to put more shit on there.
You should, man.
Yeah, I'm a little lazy. I'm looking hopefully to get a camera for my birthday so I can start recording more sets and
cool. It helps a lot, man. I record every set. You never know what's gonna happen, because
yeah, exactly.
I got a decent clip from Tulsa picking on some dude in the front row last week, and then I got a decent clip in Little Rock picking on another dude.
Yeah, I think I saw the Little Rock clip that you put. Was it?
Oh yeah, the guy was talking about
said
he spreads his ass cheeks when he's taking a dump.
Yeah.
Why would you tell anybody that, especially in a comedy club?
I mean, why don't you just stand like a normal person?
Exactly. Yeah, dumbass.
Idiot.
Do you have a website or anything?
I do not. That's actually something I am currently working on.
Cool. Do it.
I have that Squarespace.
Yeah.
Working on it. Just, I'm still learning. So like it's a very, very basic website.
Yeah.
But I think
at least it's something though, man. Because you can get gigs out of that, Like for a long time, I was the only comedian in Albuquerque that had a website, and I ended up getting booked to open for Brian Posehn because of it.
Oh, that's awesome. I have like an electronic package kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And like send out for like booking and stuff like that. But as for an actual like website, I'm working on it. Just trying to figure out. Squarespace is like easy, but it's also like strangely difficult.
Yeah. It can be if you haven't worked with it. Anything like that.
Yeah.
For sure. So it's going to be heybigchillin.com.
Maybe if I can get that domain name, that might be what it is.
That would be great, man.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. It was a lot of fun talking to you tonight.
Yeah, you too, man. I really appreciate you having me on. I've been looking forward to this, honestly.
Oh, cool, man.
Whenever I was like, it's November, he's gonna hit me up at some point.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to do it, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Awesome.
Let me know.
Well, you take care of yourself.
You
And
too, man.
yeah, we'll chat again sometime.
All right, man.
All right.
See
Take
ya.
care, buddy. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. That was episode 18 with Zach Amon. Very funny guy. If you get a chance, go check out his stand-up. Check out his podcast also. I'll need to check that one out. I haven't heard that one yet. But I also haven't watched Trailer Park Boys, so I guess I'll have to do that. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, it's always a lot of fun doing this. Got some shows coming up next week. November, what are the dates? 13 and 14. I'll be in Glendale, Arizona at the Stir Crazy Comedy Club with Tim Gaither. And then November 20th, I'll be in Greeley, Colorado, headlining a show at the Millennium Event Center with two of my good friends, Don Morgan and Holly Bird, be the opening acts. Looking forward to that. Then I have nothing for December, which sucks, but I think my lip is bleeding also, which isn't fun. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. As always, you can donate to the podcast if you want on Venmo at Funny Fletcher. Also, check out my website, funnyfletcher.com. I've got merchandise on there. And podcast listeners get 10% off if you enter the code In the Rye Podcast when you check out. And that's In the Rye Podcast, all capitals, no spaces. You get 10% off. It's a pretty good deal, I think. Right? 10%. It's pretty good. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. As always, thanks to John Singleton from Anesthesia for doing a badass guitar riff at the end of this. If you haven't heard Anesthesia, go check them out, please. They're really awesome. One of my favorite bands of all time, not just because they're my good friends, but they are super badass. Also, thanks to Jarrett Reddick for Bowling for Soup. If you haven't heard Bowling for Soup, I mean, you probably have. You know, they've been around for a long time and been on the radio and been nominated for Grammys and whatnot. He's still working on my intro song, so thanks to him for that. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.